Readers Entertainment Radio presents Booklights with your host, author Lisa Kessler. Booklights, where we're shining a light on good books.
Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in to Booklights today. You are in for a huge treat. So today is release day for a fabulous book here, December 1st. For T. Kingfisher. So if you have never read her books before, oh my gosh, you are in for such a treat. And she has such a giant backlist that you'll be able to binge read all through the holidays. But if you don't know her yet, I will read her bio here so you can get to know her. T. Kingfisher is the vaguely absurd pen name of Ursula Vernon, an author from North Carolina. In another life, she writes children's books and weird comics. She has been nominated for the World Fantasy and Eisner and has won the Hugo, Sequoyah, Nebula, Alfie, WSFA, Coyotl, I think that's how you say it, and the Ursula Major Awards, as well as half a dozen Junior Library Guild selections. So she's kind of a big deal, guys. This is the name she uses. This is the name she uses when writing things for grown-ups. Her work includes multiple fairy tale retellings and odd little stories about elves and goblins. When she's not writing, she's probably out in the garden trying to make eye contact with butterflies, and who doesn't do that, right? And you can learn more about her on her website. I did put a link to her website right there in the show notes. So if you're listening, you can hit that link and check out her website, sign up for her newsletter, find out what's coming next. So Ursula, I'm so glad you're here today. Thanks for coming on Booklights.
Oh, I am delighted to be here. Although I should say that they apparently have an old bio because I just moved to New Mexico. So not that long ago. So I'm not in North Carolina, but
okay.
Which makes sense because I'm in a desert now and the book is actually about deserts. So
I love that. And New Mexico is gorgeous. How long have you been there?
Only about 10 months, but it's I love it to pieces.
Oh, that's great. I love it. I've only been to New Mexico a few times and twice was just driving through, but it's so beautiful there. So anyway, happy for you. Your new book is Snake Eater. Do you want to tell everybody about it and why they should go grab a copy? I noticed that it has been firing up the Amazon charts, even in pre-order. So you want to tell everybody about it?
Sure. This is a story about a woman who is leaving a bad relationship and moves to the desert with her dog, and in a house that she thought she was moving in with her aunt, but her aunt has passed away, so she is staying there. And I've occasionally said that the archetypal T. Kingfisher horror novel is a woman alone in a strange house with her dog, and this is kind of like that. There are very strange things going on in the desert, and that are. I'm so bad at talking about the book. I'm great at writing about it, but it's strange things in the desert are finding her, and she is finding them and discovering that the world is not quite like she thought it was. So it's
right?
Hopefully fun.
Well, I was reading about it on Amazon, and it kind of cracked me up. I love stories where somebody moves in somewhere and then they discover someone else has made some kind of deal, and now you showed up and you thought you were getting a great deal, and yet so what was
yes
right? Whoops.
The house comes with more strings attached than she realized.
That's right. The rent is more expensive than you were expecting. Can you tell everybody the inspiration? Obviously, since you just moved to New Mexico, that might have been part of it, but can you tell us what inspired this book?
Well, I actually lived in Arizona for a long time as a kid, and this is set in Arizona. And I was mostly thinking that there are not enough novels set in the desert, particularly like fantasy, horror, supernatural things like that. There's really very few that use the desert as a setting, and it's just such a rich setting. It's so spectacular, and it can be very menacing in its own right, because the desert wants you dead, and
right.
just not make any bones about that. You go out without water, and you're going to die, and a cactus is going to stab you on the way down. So I was like, this seems like a very rich setting that people have not explored nearly enough, because there's so many things you can do with it. The landscape is very hostile, but it's also so gorgeous. It's like you said, New Mexico is beautiful. I'm in high desert here, and it's the sky goes on forever, and the plants and the animals are so fascinating, and there's so much life in a desert that you don't really realize is there.
True.
Unless you look very closely. And so the setting really sort of inspired me, and I started going, and I was missing the desert. This was years ago that I started the book. It was one of those where you start writing, you get so far, and then you shove it in the drawer for and so that's what I did. I got a couple chapters in and was like, I really like this idea, but I don't know where I'm going with it, and shoved it in a drawer for 5 or 6 years until I was like, oh, hey.
Yeah, I always call it percolating, like those old coffee makers, that would go bloop, bloop. And sometimes your ideas just need to percolate for a while, right?
They really do. Yeah. It's, no, I frequently call it percolating too. It just needs to sit back there and lurk.
That's right. And the characters need to figure out who they are. And I totally agree with you about the desert. So I wrote a werewolf series that I set in Sedona. And because I love
Sedona.
I love going there. Yeah, it's so gorgeous. But we decided we would drive out to the Hopi Nation, which was in the middle of the Navajo Nation, which was in the middle of nowhere in Arizona. And it was so desolate. It was wild. I don't know that I've ever driven that long and far and never seen another car. And my husband commented that could be a whole alien race out here and no one would even know. And so it's the perfect spot for a fantasy, right?
Yeah, no, there's a reason Roswell is out here, because there is a whole lot of nothing. But Sedona is amazing. It is honestly one of the most beautiful places on Earth. And if the houses were not priced like it's one of the most beautiful places on Earth,
right,
I would move there in a heartbeat. But and it is also one of the most eccentric places that you are likely to find. I still regret that I did not take the Vortex tour with the Elvis of Sedona, who apparently would read your aura and sing Blue Suede Shoes. So
wow. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
I wonder sometimes how people find themselves in these career paths,
Right. Who went, I can read auras and I can sing Elvis.
yes. It's but yeah, an amazing place. Although after a day or two there, my husband was like, if I don't see another bronze cowboy, I think I'm okay.
Yes. Well, you can see how I envisioned that, of course, a werewolf pack runs out here. No one would ever know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And honestly, it being Sedona, if someone ran across them, they'd just be like, we're from Sedona, and all the locals would be like, oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Of course you are.
Yep.
Well, when you were writing Snake Eater, did you? I'm sure that. Well, I'm not sure. I don't know if you plot or if you go by the seat of your pants, but did this book surprise you in a way? Was there a right turn? I mean, without spoilers, but was there something that happened in the book that you were like, wait, what is happening?
Uh, not. I am not a plotter by nature. So I am very much a let's start somewhere and see what happens. I don't know that I would necessarily have conceived of the villain at the outset, and but I just sort of started, and but usually like minor characters show up there. That way, I would never have necessarily thought of Father Aguirre or Grandma Billy on my own. If I tried to like sit down and sort of mechanically say, and then she meets a quirky neighbor, elderly neighbor, and a Catholic priest who is, has a unusual secret kind of thing. So yeah, I a lot of things surprised me in the book. Usually, honestly, in any book that I write, many things frequently surprise me.
Right.
I have no idea what I'm doing. I just start writing, and it seems to have worked so far since I've written like nearly 50 books total. But
Yes, I love that.
in fact,
I'm
this
I'm
one might
not a
be number
big
50.
plotter either, and so when reviews say, "Oh, a classic Kessler twist," I'm like, "Well, no one was more surprised than me."
Yes, or sometimes people accuse me of a tightly written book, and I am like, that was I just sat down and noodled around the keyboard for a week trying to figure out what to do next. So I don't know where you're getting this tight plot from.
Your characters did a really great job.
Clearly, they are the ones carrying it. I just show up at the keyboard.
That's right. You take dictation, right?
I have often said that the point at which I know the book is working is the one where I am in the shower and I can hear what what the characters would be saying, and it's I mean, I'm not like having an auditory hallucination. I'm just, it's like I'm like, okay, God, no, I can see this conversation. Crap, I have nothing to write it down with. Can you all
Very
slow
bad
down
timing, guys.
until I get out of the shower?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Did you have a favorite scene in this book that you're like most proud of that really turned out better than you thought?
Oh goodness, that's an interesting question. I always like the sort of creepy scenes, so I do like when the peculiar monsters show up at the house, and how matter of fact her elderly neighbor is about dealing with them. I mean, without spoilers,
Right, no spoilers.
her elderly neighbor has a shotgun, and that's the end of the matter. But and just how I liked how calm she was about it. Just the neighbor just like, yep, that happens sometimes.
Reminds me of the
Reminds
me of the old grandpa from Lost Boys. Remember,
oh,
the one thing he
yes.
hates is the vampires.
Yeah, I could never abide about Santa Clara. All the damn vampires.
All the damn vampires.
I just rewatched that not that long ago because we are subjecting my stepson, who's in his 20s and has not seen a lot of the classic 80s movies, and so we are like, it's not that some of these are good, but they are useful for understanding the cultural references. So
Yes.
like, okay, you got to watch, The Lost Boys and Terminator 1 and 2 and Alien
Yes.
and Predator. And yeah.
I feel like if more people were subjected to watching Terminator, we would have less problems with all this AI. I'm like, you guys, because no one watched it.
Like we're sitting there, going, this is still kind of relevant.
Yes.
And that one and War Games, which despite the tech being hilariously dated now, the plot actually holds up pretty well.
Right. Yeah. Do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
What kind of games we play in computer?
The number of people, and I can tell the demographic of many of my readers when I will mention this sort of thing on Blue Sky, and everyone is immediately going, how about a nice game of chess? Do you want to play a game? So it's
oh my
been funny revisiting all the old inspirations and being like, no, you have to understand, Terminator 2, at the time, the special effects were amazing and we were all wowed, and they sold it on how good the effects were.
Yes. Well, is this book a standalone, or will it be part of a series? Are you going to write more in the desert?
I think this one is probably a standalone, but I do like the town that of Quartz Creek that I sort of invented, so I won't swear that there won't be more sets in the town. I feel like Selena's story, got to a good place and wrapped, but I do like the setting. And
okay.
Some of the characters I'm like, I would like to see you again.
Right. Yeah, I love when the side characters come up and you go, dang it, there's going to be one more book.
Right. Yeah. The fantasy romance series I do was, I had conceived it, it was going to be 7 books. I've written 4 of them so far. And I was like, great, that's good. 7, solid. We have all 7 characters lined up, good to go. And then another minor character kept showing up, and I'm like, God damn it, it's gonna be 8 books, isn't it?
8 books.
Yeah.
That happened to me once. I wrote the Muse Chronicles, and there were certain muses I didn't want to write about. So I had planned that 3 muses were going to die. I had bought 6 covers, and then one of the muses got rescued and she wouldn't die. And I realized, oh, shoot, that guy's what? And I had to add another book. I'm like, really? So we have 7.
Yep. Exactly. It's the you are not as in control of the process, or at least I'm not as in control of the process. There are probably writers who are intensely in control of the series and do not have minor characters going, but I deserve a book.
Right. Well, they just refuse to die. I'm like, excuse me.
Oh yeah. Or even the readers are like, we love this person and want them to have a book. And you're like, really? Okay.
Right. Okay.
Although there's at least one character that I have in one series that I've been like, no, they will never have their own book because I like them too much, and being a protagonist is a terrible thing to do to someone.
True. Yeah, when people ask, would you like to be a character in your books? I think, whoa, no.
Yeah. Have you seen what happens in those?
I know. Why would we want this? Well, I wanted to talk before we run out of time. You have written a lot of fairy tale retellings. And of course, the one that jumped out to me was Hemlock and Silver, because the evil queen is like my favorite villain. And it seems like you've sort of re-envisioned her. So can you tell people about these retellings and what they can expect, why they should maybe go check those out, especially if you're somebody who loves, twisted fairy tales, right?
Oh yeah. I love doing fairy tale retellings, honestly, because plots are hard. and you know this. And
True.
so the nice thing about a retelling is that like you already have the broad
skeleton.
outlines of the plot. Yeah, already, and you can get it, and so you're not starting it at what the tyranny of the blank page. You're like, okay, this is Snow White, except, and so what Hemlock and Silver at least came about because I had not done a Snow White retelling in quite a while. I did a novella length one ages ago that where instead of 7 dwarves, she had 7 truffle pigs, the talking pigs, but it made sense in the book. Let me just say. But anyway,
I have no doubt.
I had been researching a whole lot about medieval poison for another book I was writing, and I had only used like small amounts of the research in that book, and there was just so much left. And I was like, but this is so cool. I want to tell everyone about it. So I was like, I need to write a book that is really centered on poisoning and the people who are trying to figure out, with only these sort of vaguest versions of the scientific method and very primitive technology, how poison works. So I was thinking about that and Snow White, and of course the thing in Snow White, the 2 things that I always really thought were interesting were the magic mirror and the poisoned apple. And
right.
So I was like, okay, what if someone is trying to figure out what the poison is and the apple is? And I knew I wanted to do something weird with mirrors because I've always found mirrors a little creepy at night.
They are a little
during
creepy.
the day, it's fine. But at night, like I always, if I'm getting up to go to the bathroom, which I do frequently because I'm a woman of a certain age, I'm like, okay, just eyes on the floor. Don't look
at the mirror.
Yeah. Because, and and people are like, are you afraid your reflection will do something weird? And it's not that because, frankly, my reflection is me, and I'm not worried about it. It's like I'm always worried I will see something like standing behind me or something.
Who else is there? And, yes.
Yeah, which would not be the mirror's fault. The mirror would be an early warning system. But if I don't look, I won't see it, and it won't be there. Either that logic makes total sense.
Understand the rationale. If you don't see it, it doesn't exist.
Exactly. So I wanted something creepy with mirrors, and once I sort of had this character who is this very who's intensely passionate about poisons and antidotes and solving them, but is not terribly. It does not have a great bedside manner. Does not actually want to deal with people, just with the poisons. And
right.
Several readers were like, "You have invented a lab technician. That is all of us back in the lab. This is fascinating, but we don't actually want to talk to people." And so I once I had that, and I was like, okay, so Snow White is being poisoned. The king's daughter, and since she is the princess, and somebody has to figure this out. And so I just started from there and kept going. The thing with fairy tales, even when you change them, and as much as I did in Hemlock and Silver, is that I always feel they're like Easter eggs for readers to find frequently. That oh, this is a callback to the original fairy tale. This is a reference to the Disney movie occasionally, or a lot of times one of the very original Grimm versions. So they're not necessarily things that you need to get to enjoy the book. Often it's just a throwaway line. But if you happen to know that, in the original Beauty and the Beast, the French salon version, that Beauty for some reason had monkey butlers, this line will be hilarious. She really did have monkey butlers in the original. I've done retellings of Beauty and the Beast. I have never put in monkey butlers because I am a coward. But And also, I know too much about monkeys. I'm like, they would not make good butlers, people. They would be just nothing but screaming and biting and poo being flung, and yeah.
Right, right. And really, who wants a butler like that?
Generally, the fact they do not fling poo is one of the things you look for in a butler.
Right. That would be one of the top things on the resume. Have never thrown poo.
Yes.
Especially if they're bringing you your clean laundry. Really?
Right? Or food in the morning. I brought your tea. Have you? Have you really?
Yes. Has a special sweetener.
Oh yeah, that's this is why we don't do monkey butlers. Yes.
Moral of the story, no monkey butlers.
Yes. Come for the book interview, stay for these important life lessons.
Right? Who knew people were going to get these handy tips? Before we go, I did want to mention or ask you about Nine Goblins, because you do still write kid books too. I don't know how you find the time for all these different things you're writing, but that one sounds adorable. Do you want to tell people? And it seems like appeals to adults too, because I peeked through the reviews and they're like, this was fab.
This is mostly an adult book. I want to say, like, kids will love this book. Let's be clear. But when I wrote it initially, when I was still just a children's book author and was not doing adult stuff, the editors were like, there are way too many dead bodies in this book to be a kid's book. So I'm not sure. I don't know what age range it's for anymore. I would have loved this as a kid, but it has a troop of goblins who are in the military and in the goblin army, and they have been accidentally transported behind enemy lines, where they run into an elven veterinarian who is basically James Harriet with pointed ears, and is the one who takes care of the animals that are not, nice or pretty, that the other elves want to take care of. So he is, out there feeding gargoyles and and whatnot.
All the other unspeakables.
And trolls. He has lots of troll friends, and he loves trolls. And it was just a really fun book to write when I was writing it, because I will write like the first part of a book and then go to my editor, my agent usually, and or editor, and be like, usually to my agent, be like, can you find someone to pay me to finish this book, which as a method has worked so far. And my agent's used to this, and every now and again the answer is no, I cannot. But
no, I cannot. Perhaps you finished it.
Yeah. In this case, she was like, I can try. And so it initially went on so many places who were like, this is a lot of fun and we have no idea how on earth to market it. So no, it was the one where you would get very nice rejections from editors going, I personally loved this, marketing will not know what to do with it. Right. And I finished it, having been told it was definitely not a children's book, which means that in the back half, the gore really ramps up a bit. And so it was the first book I ever self-published, because I was like, okay, nobody can figure out what to do with it. And my agent's like, yeah, you should do that. And if when the time comes to sell foreign rights or whatever, give me a call. And so I did. And
I love it.
Yeah, and so it basically launched my career, and I self-published a whole lot of adult books before I eventually, several publishers of adult books realized that I was not like committed to self-publishing out of a deep love of doing so. Just I didn't think like big traditional houses wanted my books. They're like, wait, no, hang on, no, come back. So,
wait, we do.
Yeah, that was a sort of surreal conversation. If you've ever seen an editor get more and more sort of appalled and excited at the same time. And I still do self-publish some books just because once you get in the habit, they're like potato chips. But
it is nice to have a little control over your income, right?
Yes, and but Tor Books was like, we actually love Nine Goblins, and now that people know T. Kingfisher exists, this is no longer we don't know how to market this. We now market it as it's a T. Kingfisher book, and now it'll be fine. And I'm like, okay, because apparently
nice.
The thing I have learned is that there are some books you can write as first books or debut books, and there are some books that you can write as like a 10th book, and they're not always the same one. So
true.
Publishing is weird.
And I love that you self-published until you were a thing. And then they're like, oh, no, now you're your own genre. We can market it.
It was actually even stupider than that. I was on Twitter and back before it went to hell, and made a joke about how I was terrible at elevator pitches, and my poor agent was having to deal with something I had billed as it's the Blair Witch Project meets the Andy Griffith Show. And I thought it was a throwaway joke. And then an editor that I knew in passing, because, we had talked about conventions and gardening and things, was suddenly in my messages going, does this book exist? Has it been sold? And I'm like, yeah, do you want it? Like, it's not done yet. It's like, can I see it? Like, sure. And she was like, can we publish it? Yeah, that's great. Yeah, this is not how you sell a book, kids. Do not attempt.
Do not follow my example.
Experience. But it was exciting.
Yeah, that's so cool. and your results may vary.
Oh yes. I do not expect this to necessarily work for you, although you might be surprised. Who knows?
You never know. Well, I could chat all day with you, but I know you have things to do. When people get excited from reading Snake Eaters, where can they find you? Where do you hang out on social media?
I tend to hang out around on Blue Sky a lot these days. I'm T. Kingfisher there. You can usually find me there. I post to Instagram once in a blue moon, usually when I have taken a photo of an interesting bug. So don't necessarily expect that.
So all those bug lovers on Instagram.
Yes, and it's fun. I talk about gardening and sometimes about writing, and sometimes about whatever bizarre research rabbit hole I've fallen down at the moment. Which, being a writer, I fall down a lot of those. So
we become experts on things real fast.
Oh yes, for like a good half hour while we were writing the scene. Yes. Often
oh look, I know quantum physics.
Yeah, I once spent a over an hour trying to find how widely spaced railroad ties were.
Oh, good one.
So that I could figure out if a character could slide between them to get to other world thing, and eventually decided the answer was yes. And for 2 words in 1 sentence, but
I know it's frustrating sometimes. It's like, what kind of shoes do they wear? And 2 hours later you go, I'm just gonna make it up.
Yeah, or you're just like, he was wearing boots.
Yes, leather boots. Oh, being a writer is so fun.
It's a weird job sometimes.
It is. Well, I really appreciate all your time and being here today. And everyone who's listening, oh my gosh, go get Snake Eater. You will love it. And also check out all of her backlist. There are so many delicious books and series for you to check out. Also wanted to mention Sword Heart. The second book is coming out next year. So grab that first one. And is there anything I missed?
If you like horror, I've got the Sworn Soldier books, which are short. And if you don't like horror, Sword Heart is a lot of fun. And if you're on the fence about horror, I would say that I would call Snake Eater more in the supernatural thriller category than Silence of the Lambs. So if you're like, I like the idea, but I'm a wimp, this one should be okay. I always like it because people just are like, I love it, I can't do horror, so, and I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. This one is probably fine. This one is probably not.
Good to know.
If you can't do horror, I do have a book coming out next year called Wolfworm. Avoid that one. That one. I should not go on a podcast and tell people not to buy my books, but it's about bot flies, and it is gross. So.
And it is scary. All right.
Yes. And I went down some horrible research rabbit holes for that one.
Ooh, yeah. I don't want to look at your Instagram during that point of time.
I was good. I did not post any bot flies or screwworms on Instagram. So
at least not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Well, thanks again for being here. It was so great chatting with you. And everyone, go check out Snake Eaters and all of T. Kingfisher's backlist. Go check it out. And Ursula, thank you so much for being here today.
Oh, delighted to be here. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks for joining us on Booklights. Be sure to connect with us at www.readersentertainment.com for articles, blogs, videos, and podcasts that matter to readers.